Did they ever talk about like what was it like coming up for them?
Bro, they gave me the craziest stories. I mean, being from Ukraine and Georgia,
yeah,
you already know they're gonna say some crazy shit.
Yeah, what are they?
Like, oh, we had to fight bears and climb mountains just to get to school.
Yeah, that's definitely a little more extreme than the American climb up the hill place.
My grandma one time told me when she was like 5 years old that she was walking to the park and a bomb flew in and just blew up the entire playground right as she was walking to it.
Let's go. Another episode of Adversity Kings. We've got my dog here, one of the AK Army, one of the only. We got Antonio.
Damn right.
Right? How do you say your last name?
Lukashevsky.
Lukashevsky. What nationality is that?
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian?
Well, the last name's actually Polish.
Oh.
But I'm Ukrainian.
Wow. So how's that work?
Because my mom married some dude for visa.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's basically how I have the last name. But I got to change it.
Is that your dad too? Just some dude?
No, he's not my dad. He's not my dad. But my mom married him.
Okay.
So I got to change it to my dad's name.
Do you know your dad?
Yeah. Me and him are like close.
Is he in America?
No. So he's in Ukraine.
Okay.
We're all over the place already, dude.
Yeah.
My dad's in Ukraine. He met my mom over there. And that's my biological dad.
Yeah.
When my mom wanted to move here, I don't think they ever even got a divorce, but they might have. She married some guy so that we could live in the U.S.
Wow.
So we got the visa. Or visa or whatever it was, passport citizenship.
Yeah.
But my dad only got it for 2 years.
No, your mom and biological dad?
Yeah.
They still talk?
Yeah.
And then is she still married to your visa dad?
No. So the beautiful thing is about my mom's and my father's relationship is that they never argued, never like had any type of problems, at least not in front of me.
Yeah.
And like when I would ask my mother, hey, what do you think about my father? She'd be like, very respectable man, gentleman, like say good things. And then my father would say the exact same thing. And the cool thing is whenever I would be a troubling kid, like just cause trouble in the house, do mayhem and stuff. My mom would tell me, hey, I'm going to call your dad right now. And I would get scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But then my dad would tell me like, you better freaking respect your mom. You better treat her like a queen. Like she's the best woman in the world, all this stuff. So it was never like they were talking down on each other. One was always hyping up the other.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just that level of respect that I ended up having for both of them.
Wow.
Because of that.
And so is your dad like trying to get over here?
No.
Why not?
He's got businesses and stuff.
So he's got business in Ukraine?
He's got businesses all over Europe.
Oh.
He's like,
he's
that guy.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see it. I just got my passport.
And you're going to go visit?
I'm going to visit him over.
Does mom go back and visit?
No. What's going on in Ukraine, bro?
Well, I don't know. I see people go there. Like I follow this guy that does jiu-jitsu and he just goes there and like plays around.
That's crazy.
Like it's nuts. He'll just be playing with RPGs. Like it's definitely crazy. Like it looks like a war zone, but I swear to God.
Playing with RPGs, he's just benching them.
Yeah, bro. He's just out there and I'm like, dude, yeah, prayers to anybody in affliction right now. Just mankind, you know what I mean? All over the world there's crazy things going on, but Ukraine's definitely one of the ones that are more relevant. So Ukraine, Polish, man, that's such a crazy way to start right off rip, but this is how I like to start. So both parents are Ukrainian.
No, dad's from Georgia. Not the Atlanta, Georgia.
No, the Middle East, Georgia.
Yeah.
So he's Georgian.
Yeah.
Now what
I think Georgian's more like European.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that more European?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Let me look that up and see where the location is of Georgia.
Sad thing is, I got to go over there with him. I have no idea where it is, so this is gonna help me too.
Country.
To be honest with you.
On a map. Let's see where this is. This is insane. It's 15 hours. I'm already seeing Armenia pop up. This is nuts. Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Ukraine.
Oh, when you're Azerbaijan, bro,
you're kind of close. You're a little Middle Eastern, honestly.
Hey, I'll take it, man.
No, but in all seriously, it looks like here, right above you, is like different jurisdictions, if that's what you would call it, of Russia.
Probably.
That looks like Russia dips into there.
He does speak Russian.
Yeah, he has to,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to speak Russian. That looks like a pretty solid place to go up. He's probably a pretty tough dude. like right in between. You figure you got probably a couple thousand miles below, maybe less, Iraq, and then you got Georgia, and then you got Russia right above you.
Going to war, baby.
Right, Ukraine right to the left. Okay, so what were your parents' upbringing like? Did they ever talk about, like, what was it like coming up for them?
Bro, they gave me the craziest stories. I mean, being from Ukraine and Georgia, you already know they're going to say some crazy shit.
What are they?
Like, oh, we had to fight bears and climb mountains just to get to school.
Yeah, that's definitely a little more extreme than the American climb up the hill both ways.
My grandma one time told me when she was like 5 years old that she was walking to the park and a bomb flew in and just blew up the entire playground right as she was walking to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was like 5 years old.
And that was Ukraine?
That was Ukraine.
Wow.
Yeah. My mom, she grew up around like the Soviet Union time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for her, she was born in 1970. For her, that's what most of her upbringing was. She like talks about how the freedom that women have now is so much more than they had back where she was from and at the time. And so, yeah, man, I mean, they talk about how different it was. Yeah. For sure. And my dad, like, didn't grow up rich either. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he got his, like, first car. It was, he was, like, 20-something. Wow. You know what I mean? Just, to be able to buy your first car at that time.
Now, what was growing up for you like in America? Were you born in America?
No.
Where were you born?
So, Ukraine. 8 months old. We move over here. And it all just started since then. I mean, I had a great childhood. I think that I personally have like an amazing child. I was always surrounded by family. Yeah. So for me, family growing up has just always been super important. Who all was
here then for you?
It was honestly almost everyone. We just came really late. So my two aunts, who are my mom's sisters, they're great, and they were here the whole time. Yeah. Not the whole time, but like they moved way before us. Yeah. And then me and my mom and my grandma moved together. Okay. But the thing is, my mom still has, I think, 2 or 3 brothers in Ukraine. Okay. That are there. Yeah. But they're fine. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, I know some of them were like, they fucking went to war. Yeah. And shit, like when that all happened in 2022. But I mean, other than that, they're fine. Yeah. They made it out good. And that's really it. We grew up with family all around, and I always thought we were richer than we were. Yeah. In Jefferson Park. Okay. In Jefferson Park, a little 2-bed, 1-bath condo. Okay. And for me, I went to a public school, but I always thought like, oh man, I got so much money. Like I have all the clothes I want. Yeah. You know, my mom spoiled me. Like she would buy me toys and all this stuff. And I thought we were rich. And then the truth is we were just running up credit card bills. Like insanity, and you know what my mom's philosophy was? Why she could never be a businesswoman. Yeah. And I know I definitely got my dad's genes and like the brain. Yeah. Is that she would go, oh, in order to survive, I couldn't look at the debt we had. I had to just keep spending and make money and spend more and then pay off the debt minimally. You know what I mean? So that we could survive. Yeah. And then I look at it today and I'm like, oh, you got fucking 30, 40 grand in debt. What are you talking about survive? Yeah. You know, like, maybe for a little bit, but not anymore. Yeah, that's hilarious. Now, how old are you now? 21. 21 years old. Okay, so what was high school like for you? Ooh, so I went to Notre Dame. Okay. Notre Dame is it's all guys, and then it's football, heavy American football. You know what I mean? The college or the high school? High school. There's a high school Notre Dame? Notre Dame College Prep. Okay. NDCP fucking school for all boys. Yeah. To turn them into men. Number one, I mean, my biggest memory was probably my freshman year. Yeah. And I remember we had like freshman orientation. Yeah, yeah. And they told us, well, listen, here you're going to make brothers. You're going to make great friends, blah, 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 the whole deal. And then they also told us that everyone at the school was going to be dicks and it was going to be like prison for us. Yeah. One thing they told the truth about, one of them they lied. It was one of the best experiences ever. Yeah. And I made a ton of brothers. All boys. Like, yeah, I mean, dude, it was amazing because if you think about it, go to a school with girls, there's certain things you can't say, especially now. You know, certain banter you can't have. Yeah. Like you just walk into a classroom, it smells like balls in here, Miss Morales. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, girls will be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? So yeah, that was one thing that was really cool. High school for me, I mean, my freshman year, because I was a soccer kid, so I was like a nerd. Automatically, you get classified as a nerd. You're a fucking geek because you played soccer. So that was that was hard to make friends.
Yeah.
I had to like hang out with like kind of the outskirts bunch, in high school. And then finally sophomore year, around like the second semester, I got seated next to the popular kids in class. Started talking to them, chopping it up. They realized I wasn't actually a geek.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I had also started to act like myself.
Yeah.
Because when I first got there, I wanted to act like the cool kids. I was a dickhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They weren't really dickheads. It's just that that's what I saw them as. Like was like, that's how I got to act. So I started being a dickhead. I acted like not me.
Yeah.
You know, I would like bully around the kids that were on my own soccer team.
Yeah.
Just so I could talk to the kids that play football.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then imagine how that looks on the field later.
Yeah, facts.
You know?
Yeah.
Just kind of dirtbag activity. And so that happened. And finally, I just started acting like myself. And then that's when I realized that people really started to like me for who I was.
Yeah.
You know, they started to gravitate towards me just because of good energy. And
So when do you think, I always ask everybody this, when do you think that turning point changed or came in your life? Like there's always a point for a young man, a young woman, or just a person in general where there's a turning point of like, hey, listen, you start to have a realization of there's more to life. You know what I mean? And just like the Matrix. Like when did you wake up?
I was 16.
Yeah.
I was 16 years old. It was COVID. I love this story, bro. It kind of plans out so perfectly. I was 16 years old. It was COVID, junior year of high school. And I was doing really good actually in school. But then COVID hits, everyone goes online. I do not give a fuck, bro. I'm not getting on no class, no Google Classroom, no homework. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm playing PlayStation all day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then shit just kind of started going down and down. And then I remember they were like telling people get the vaccines so you could come back to school. I was like, I'm not coming back to school. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know? And really, so all that happened. And then I was on YouTube, or maybe it was Instagram or something, or TikTok, and I see this guy. I still remember Wholesale to Millions, King Kong. You ever seen him? That Asian Filipino guy?
I feel like I have.
Short guy who's always like, that morning.
Yeah.
He be talking like that, bro. And I see him and he's talking about, do wholesale real estate. Fuck college. Fuck this. I'm a millionaire. You know what I mean? And I start seeing this. And then I'm like, okay, I like this guy. So I keep watching his videos. And he's talking about how you could wholesale real estate, make millions, all this. And I'm watching him, like, he's like, I'm an immigrant, I never went to college, none of that. So then next thing, I keep scrolling down the reels, he's like, oh, I have a book recommendation, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
So of course I read that one.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh shit, you could get rich off like a job that you don't have to do college for. You could just invest. Okay, interesting. So I keep reading, and then I read ways how to influence and win friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I have these skills. So let me, keep going and let me keep trying. And then I read How to Be a Superior Man, like The Way of the Superior Man, David Data. And I just kept reading and reading, and then I was like, bro, I could literally become rich without having to go to college because I hate school anyway. Yeah. And at that point, I was like, whoa, I'm cooking up something here. You know that? Let him cook. Yeah. And that's where it all kind of started. I was 16 years old during COVID. Dude, I started getting into meditation at that point. I mean, bro, I did all types of drugs, and maybe that was part of it, like smoking weed, doing shrooms. I was like, dude, I'm one with the world right now. And I did that, and I feel like all that just kind of combined made me into someone that was starting to wake up to what was really going on. And I mean, that was really just it. 16 years old.
When did you make your first money from like selling?
Wholesale real estate.
That's when you made your first dollar?
First dollar off selling.
Yeah,
where I used skills that I learned. So I kept watching that guy's YouTube videos for so long, but he had a program, and the program was like $2,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's too much. I can't pay. This after I graduated high school.
So you're 18?
High school, I was a soccer coach.
Okay.
But yeah, this 18, this is before I got into sales.
Yeah.
So it's like summer. I graduated high school. Me and my boy are looking for a side hustle. We're trying to get on something, you know what I mean? And then I remember, I'm like, fucking King Kong. He said, do wholesale real estate. Let's try it, bro. So we try it. We start doing it. We watch all his videos. His program's 2,000. We can't afford that. So we're like, no way. We're just going to watch the YouTube videos.
The free
we're going to learn.
Yeah.
And then eventually we're like 400 cold calls deep, which you get that done in 2 days.
Yeah.
For us just starting, it was like a week long of just dialing. You know what I mean? So we keep doing that. 400 calls in, nothing. Sure enough, we're like, fuck it, let's buy a course. But not this guy's course because it's too expensive. Let's buy a cheap course. So we buy a little $250 course. We fucking find out that everything this guy's teaching is literally on Google.
Yeah.
So we're like, damn, bro, we just got scammed. Anyway, keep making more calls because we already knew everything.
Yeah.
Just from Kong's YouTube videos into this guy's course, it was the same shit.
Yeah.
We got the paid shit for free before, but we got ahead of ourselves, you know? Mm-hmm. So that happened. And then we just kept dialing. 400 more calls, finally a deal. Boom. I still remember it was in Rosemont. It was this old lady.
Yeah.
She didn't want to deal with any realtors. She didn't want to pay any commissions. So we got her house under contract. I think it was like maybe 240, 242.
Okay.
And then we ended up finding a buyer who was this investor guy off Craigslist. We used Craigslist. And it worked. It was $5 to put the ad up. And then finally, boom, investor hits. 252, only $10,000 difference. Now we had no idea about the closing fees. We were promising this lady crazy shit. We were like, we'll pay for your closing fees. We'll cover the taxes. All this. Dude, we couldn't fucking cover that out of pocket. You know what I mean? Especially with only that 10 grand. So we ended up fucking having to give out like most of our money just to we ended up getting like 4 or 5 grand back. Yeah. For that whole thing. And it just fizzled out. We were like, dude, this is too hard. Yeah. 60 days we made fucking $5 grand, bro.
Oh my God.
2.5 each. That's nothing. Like that's good, but we could do our day jobs and stress less.
Yes.
So then we just never looked back at that. But that was my first ever experience.
And then so fast forward. So what did the next? So you go 18, 19. What did 19 and 20 years old look like?
19 and 20. So 18, I went to sell cars. I worked for Andy from I think February up until like.
At a car dealership?
No. At the LA Group. Okay. And I think like 7-8 months. And then that was 18.
So what percent of commission do you get? Are you just on like an NDA or something? I always wonder how those like high tickets, like the guy I bought the podcast off of, I paid 50 grand. Like what percent did he get?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you sign something where
I don't even remember at this point. I don't know if I'm supposed to say on camera. All I'm going to say is that he pays super good. Yeah. Like he pays very well. He's not like there's other guys. I've compared his pay plan to others. And even just being around him and hearing other big guys talk about it. Like I heard him talking to Brad Lee or something. And Brad's like, dude, why the fuck you pay these guys so much? You know what I mean? Like, like he pays really good. Yeah. I mean, the thing is I hear you say this all the time. You say, if you really want to measure someone's success, look at the cars that his team drives. Yeah. I hear you say that, bro. Yeah. It's the same shit for him. He makes sure everyone's fucking dressed good like an army. Yeah. And everyone's paid good. Everyone has nice cars. He doesn't want to see no beat up fucking Altima on the side driving, bro. I mean, you keep it a stack. Yeah. And he does it like that. So yeah, he takes care of his people for sure.
So you work for Andy, then you go into car sales again.
Yes, because I was so good at it. Yeah. Especially being around him for 7-8 months. You're just like, oh my God, this is like crack. This is easy.
Easy money.
But the thing is that after being around him for so long, and with him, I mean, if you spent a weekend with him, right? Yeah. Spend 6 months with him, bro. And it's insane. It's the most growth, the most amazing lifestyle you'll ever have. Yeah. And then once I left, it was like, just depression came over me. Yeah. It was so stupid. It was the dumbest thing ever. Like I stopped feeding my mind with his stuff. Yeah. So that like for a little while I had gotten depressed, but I never lost the skills that I had, right? Yeah. So I would go to the car dealership, but and at the one that I was working for, it was around here in Chicago. And I literally sold like 30, 35 cars. Yeah. I worked there for a month. Yeah. Like I could not give a fuck to work. I just want to make my money and then not have to work for the next couple months. That was my plan. Like I'm going to make as much money this month. But dude, I was literally going to the dealership, on the way to the dealership, smoke a joint, sell a car, smoke a joint, fucking leave after I sell a car, smoke a bowl, just keep smoking all day, all throughout the day. Because I didn't want to feel anything. I fucking hated it. I hated being there the entire time because after you leave that, you're like, wow, there's nothing else. And especially at the car dealership, like it's a dirty place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It could be. If the vibes are good and you've got a good team, it's not going to be that way. Yes. But a lot of car dealerships, they don't prioritize culture. They just prioritize sell. But what they don't understand is if they were real leaders and they had a good culture, a good identity about the team, it would sell way more.
Yeah.
But they don't give a fuck about that, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you've got guys that are like shitting on you when you're selling. Oh, and you guys fucking cheating, whatever. You know, he's on the phone all day. He's like, what is this guy doing? You know, hey, why don't you go get us some coffees, new guy? You've been here for like 15 days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that, I'm working. You know, why don't I buy you fly?
Yeah.
Type deal. So yeah, I hated it. But I mean, I made the money and then I just stopped working and I was unemployed. I was already living in this beat up like house that my aunt owned.
Yeah.
And just living there. And I mean, that was it. And just loafing away.
Wow.
For like a few months.
Wow.
Smoking weed, fucking drinking.
So that was 19 and 20?
That was 19. That was a short stint of 19.
Okay, what happened in 20?
And well, in 19,
and we're talking about 20 years old.
I know, but 19 is where it cuts off because it wasn't all of 19 where I was just degenerate dumbass.
Where did it cut off? What happened?
It cut off at somewhere around, I had like 6 months left of being 19 years old, and I found Andrew Tate. I think it was January.
Yeah.
And I found Tate. And Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, and I started watching their emergency meetings.
Yeah.
And I started watching the motivational shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, I'm being a bitch, bro. I'm wasting my potential.
Yeah.
I'm literally letting myself down. What if God is watching me right now? I'm letting him down. I'm letting my ancestors down. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I woke up and then I started grinding again. I started doing other things, you know, but Tate, it was probably like a solid 6 months of me being just a lazy jagoff.
Yeah.
2 months of listening to Tate every single day. Like I would still go to the gym. This is probably my peak shape.
Yeah.
I would just not give a fuck about anything else. You know, like
Yeah,
I would wake up, beer for breakfast, another one for dessert, fucking bolski for lunch.
Yeah.
Shit like crazy.
Yeah.
But then I would eat like a pound of steak and like 3 eggs, you know, keep my body good and stuff. But I mean, just killing myself.
Yeah.
And watching Tate 2 months, having a good time watching him, emergency meeting after emergency meeting. I'm learning from him. I mean, bro, I'm listening to him when I'm hitting the gym, and he eventually drags me out of it. Like, I will give him the credit that he dragged me out of it. You know?
Yeah.
Because it was basically the way I like to see it. I'm always with someone.
Yeah.
I could always be with someone if I want to be. Now, I'm talking about specifically in the car. So I'm in the car and I'm driving. I'm driving to the gym. Let's say I got an emergency. You know what emergency meeting is, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Tate. So I got fucking Andrew right here, and then I got Tristan in the back seat, and we're driving. In my mind.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because they're right here with me because I'm hearing them talk.
Yeah.
And I'm just laughing and I'm talking with them, you know what I mean? I'm chiming up in my brain, whatever. And we're just fucking driving. And I'm with my G's. And that's how that kind of all started, is that I was around him so much.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to
Yeah.
I do the same shit now. Tim Grover, I got Relentless, I'm driving with my boy.
Yeah.
You know, Andy, fucking PBD, whoever it is,
Yeah.
I'm driving with him.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a mindset shift for me. But that's just it, man. And I started doing that and just listening to him all day. And eventually I was like, man, fuck this. I got to go out and I got to implement what I'm learning.
Yeah.
Because I was just sitting in my, dude, I got notebooks at my house. I guarantee it'll be worth 10 million one day just to see this knowledge. But it's all from someone else.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. Nothing under the sun is new. You know what I mean? Philosophers always, there's a quote I read from Stoicism the other day, and it's like, everything under the sun is repeated, it's imitated. You know, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and we just copy great individuals, and everything's already been done. You know, we're just recreating it with new marketing, new strategy, new development, new delivery, but it's all been done. So never feel bad about that. What did you start doing after car sales and smoking bowls and drinking beers and eating steaks?
So
like where do we go next?
Yeah, so right there, I fucking started working for this company, Coral Club.
Okay.
Which is a multi-level marketing business.
Okay.
So I'm sure you know how that goes.
Yeah.
What
did you guys sell?
Health products.
Okay.
So here goes me, who was drinking every single day.
Yeah.
Right. You know, smoking, to now selling health products because my aunt was like, hey, I use this product all the time. You should try it. Why don't you?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. I mean, I guess I'll try it. First, I was like, nah, that's a scam. You're literally pyramid scheming me. Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, you should really try it. So eventually I'm like, all right. I'm at the gym one day. I hurt my knee. They have this one product. It literally fills up your like hyaluronic acid in your body, so it like adds collagen to your joint, or not cartilage. Cartilage. That's the word. And I used it, and it fixed me up in 2 weeks. I was back to squatting. Yeah. And I injured myself really bad. So then I was like, fuck yeah, I'll sell this shit. So I started selling it. Honestly, made a decent amount of income off of that. Like that was good. Yeah. But it wasn't enough. So I was like, I need to know the next step. So then I'm talking to my aunt one day, and the same one that I did Choral Club with. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to her, and she's like, hey, why don't you do real estate? Like, you used to love that. And that was kind of like the reason why you never went to college. So why don't you try it? And I was like, yeah, but I already did wholesale. Like, that's kind of dead. It's a lot of work, blah, blah. And then she was like, well, fuck wholesale. Why don't you be an agent? And I was like, good idea. Yeah. Good choice. And then at this point, I had fucking like just been a degenerate, spent all my money, literally living paycheck to paycheck. So then she fronted me the $700 to take the course. And then that was, I mean, I paid her back, fucking got in, and then that's it ever since.
Now, how long have you been doing the real estate now?
It's a year now.
And then what company do you represent?
Keller Williams.
Oh, dude, you know what? I think we know, because I'm in the process of developing a business outside of the insurance space. And through one of our investment meetings, I think one of our connections is connected with like one of the founders of Keller Williams.
Really, Gary?
Like a big dog. Yeah. Somebody that has like a significant amount of like pull. Like there's thousands of you guys of Keller Williams agents.
There's so many agents, bro.
There's thousands of Keller Williams agents. And I've gone to events where it's like 20,000 to get in, and there will be like 20 Keller Williams people there. It's like there's people making bread at Keller Williams. Sure. You know what I mean? I've gone to two Maxwell events, and it was 20 grand just to get in, entry level. And there was just there was a good percentage of Keller Williams. I was like, what do you do? Keller Williams. What do you do? Keller Williams. Keller Williams. And you just start to think like, man, this many individuals from one organization, one industry. Real estate, such a like, I don't care what level you're involved in, the real estate industry, the financial services industry, when you're dealing with money and you're dealing with property, it's hard to go wrong with, whether you're a broker, whether you're an agent, whether you're an investor, an owner, like in some way, shape, or form, when you're dealing with money and property, it's hard for you to lose. Like you literally have to be stupid. You know what I mean, for you to lose. So that's incredible. So how's the year of real estate been for you? What are the ups and downs?
I mean, it's been great. Yeah. It's been great. Dude, always blessed, first of all. Yeah. You know, I mean, you've taught me that as well, bro. So always blessed. I first started, I literally went 4.5, 5 months without making a single dollar. Yeah. That was killer, dude. That was really tough. But then I had just kind of opened my eyes, understood, hey, I'm playing this wrong. Yeah. My biggest issue is I was sort of playing it like, when you do car sales, you close the deal in 2 hours. They come in 2 hours, you know what I mean, messing around with them, and then boom, out. Yeah. Insurance deal, kind of the same thing, right? It's over the phone. Yeah. What is it, 10, 15 minutes? Yeah. Then you put the prepresentation on, I'm done.
Yeah, I closed one in 5 minutes in the Whole Foods parking lot.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Freaking Andy's office. Yeah. How fast did you get closed for the PBD call? 10, 15 minutes, bro?
I'm a spender, though. You know what I mean? I don't know how many spenders they get on the phone. You know what I mean? So it's like,
let's just average out 10, 15 minutes, right? So, okay, and you've got all these industries that I was in. I mean, obviously those two, and just comparing it to your life insurance deal. And here I am with real estate doing a deal that takes 2 months to close.
Yeah, 2 months.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're talking about, it's more than marriage, because people will get involved in a relationship. They'll even get involved in a marriage, and they'll quit after 2-3 years. Yeah. You get involved with a house. You're signing a 30-year contract, and it's hard to divorce that contract and to evict yourself from that contract. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? You're not leaving this contract. So, you know, that's a massive decision that you're facilitating and assisting individuals in making. You know, so that's massive, bro. First 4 or 5, I can relate. My first 4 or 5 months in the insurance space, thousands of dials. It had to have been thousands of door knocks, I feel like, as well. I was knocking 30, 40 doors a day. First 4 or 5 months, I was making maybe I was losing money in a sense, because I was making just enough money to afford to fill up my gas tank, because all of my sales were in home, door to door. Wow. You know what I mean? Leads were generated, but like I still had to contact the leads, and then I would, if they didn't answer, I'd knock on their doors. So, but I can remember, I tell everybody, there's always a learning curve initially in a transition when it comes to sales, learning a new industry, transitioning from an industry, whatever it might be. There's always a learning curve, but it can always be defeated through repetition in some way, shape, or form. So it's like,
1,000%.
it's just like, honestly, it didn't need to take you 4 or 5 months. It didn't need to take me 4 or 5 months. If we could have figured out a way to double the reps, it would have taken 60 days. So it was more so like a repetition and a presentation issue. And so that's where I try to help people, is like, let me try to save people even more time, because speed loves money. So like, when you can give rich people their time back, they'll give you everything. You know what I mean? They'll give you more than you could ever imagine. So I love to give people their time back, and the only way you can truly do that is by showing people how to generate more leads. Because nobody really has a closing issue. Nobody has a product issue. Everybody has a lead issue. Because if you had 10 times the leads in your first 4 or 5 months, that's 6 months, 5 months would have went to 60 days, 30 days. So it's always solving for that at the end of the day. But it's phenomenal, because the individuals that can endure and withstand pain are the people that take over the world. Like if there's one skill that I could transfer to a child, my son, when I have a son, if I could transfer to, anybody I'm consulting for, it's like, if you can withstand the pain of the process and of life, you will do beautiful things. Because there's a lot of people that have skill. There's a lot of people that have wisdom and knowledge. There's a lot of people at that 1% level. But those that can withstand the greatest pain, I read this the other day, that excellence is the capacity to withstand pain. So it's like, a lot of people are great, but not many people are excellent, because you have to be able to withstand pain. And people can take pain for a moment, but when you can take pain for a lifetime, you put yourself in a position where you can do something extraordinary. Because to do something ordinary, you do what everybody else does. What everybody else does is they withstand a little bit of pain. But if you're to do something that nobody else ever does, you have to endure something that nobody else can endure. No one can endure long forms of pain. It's painful to wait decades for something great to happen. It's painful to be extremely focused and locked in and disciplined mentally, physically, spiritually, eating the same thing, praying the same thing in this weak, broken world as a young man. Just like, it's disgusting to even say, but like, to be locked in on one woman, zero lust, zero consideration of, all these stupid boys that say all these stupid things on entertain this girl, entertain that girl. Like, it's painful to get a man to break out of that mindset of, you need one woman. That's all. You need a great woman behind you. That's it. One. To lock in on the body, to lock in on the mind. It's painful because we want to play games and play around. Like, to lock in and read for the rest of your life and develop yourself with intentionality, it's all painful, but it's all worth it. You know what I mean? It separates you. So that's why it's like, you've already done so phenomenal at your age. That's why you're going to continue to do phenomenal, because you've already proven to yourself. That's all you need to prove it to. There's so many men and women that'll watch this. Like, I need to prove it to this person. I need to prove it to that person. You need to prove it to you, because that's what develops the subconscious routine. That's the most important. Everyone's conscious. We're all consciously awake and aware of, should I do this? Should I do that? We're all weighing things out. That's not as relevant as the subconscious, that scientists believe we operate subconsciously about 99% of our lives.
Wow.
That means 99% of your life is on ghost mode. Like, it's just from habits.
Just happening.
And that happening and that habit, it is infected by your confidence of what is your consistent, conscious mind going to. And the 1%, the decisions you make, that's why everybody can say, and people love saying, and how you do one thing is how you do everything. It is so true. How you do and think and say and speak and operate in that 1% dictates the subconscious. And then the subconscious literally creates your entire life. And you're either destroyed or you're headed for a great destiny. And there's no in between. You either live a life of death or you live a life, and it's scary because who the fuck knows, it can only be measured in 2 report cards. I always tell people, you have your subconscious report card, which measures every breath. Every breath you take, you're getting an updated report card sent to your brain through the form of guilt or the form of pleasure. When you wake up late, what do you feel? Guilt. When you put stupid stuff into your body, the cupcakes, the poison, the drugs, what do you feel? Guilt.
Yeah.
When you put broccoli into your body, when you hit the gym and you get up early and you read and you grow yourself and you go the extra mile, what do you feel?
Pleasure, baby.
You feel pleasure. You feel a reward. And that is your subconscious report card in the micro form. When that compounds in the macro form, you can start to measure that in a better looking body and a better communication style and a better competency and a better understanding intellectually, a better soul, you're more calm. A situation that used to piss you off and drive you insane, arguments you used to have with your girl and your family, now you feel complex, you feel like superior, but really you've just been choosing discipline, giving you pleasure. Now in the macro form, you're more of a mature man. Maturity is reflected in responsibility and development and discipline, right? And then you have your macro form of the favorite part everybody loves is, well, what are your accolades and what are your assets? You know, and it's like, well, how can we measure that? Well, you made enough micro form subconscious decisions of making the dials, doing the door knocks, getting up and doing the practice, doing the plays, watching your film, going to school, all of the things every single one of these people are going to watch when we cut this up into clips. Whatever you're doing, you're the teacher, you're the athlete, you're the entrepreneur, like doing the micro subconscious disciplines compounds over time into the macro form, and then you get your trophy. Then you become Michael Jordan. If you can withstand the 2 decades of pain, and when you can withstand that, then you take over the world. I'm going to tell her 1 second. Hey, I'm finishing a podcast real quick, okay?
Okay, I got tea.
All right, I love you. This will go in the podcast.
No.
It is.
Too late, girl.
It's too late. It's going in.
Let's go.
All right,
You
baby.
just cut Tristan off on a fucking screamer.
I know. I was going.
You
I
were
was going
going
good. All right, baby. I'll
bro.
play right back. All right, let me.
Keep going, dog.
Dude, yeah, the macro, dude, and I've been in such a place in my mind of revelation of, dude, I can't wait to save so many young men and women, because every young man, I've spent so many years, and I look back at the last 3 years of my life of, I've got 3 1099s, and they all add up to like $6 million, $7 million over the last, since I was 22 years old. And I've spent most of the money, you know what I mean? I think I profited off of it probably 10 to 15%, and spent most 80, 90% because it was a business partnership. I think a large percent went to the partner. Then you got taxes, you got business expenses. And it's like, I never dreamed of making millions. But even in the form of being still as a title of a franchise owner, still a sales hamster. There's no equity per se.
Right.
But there is still equity, because equity now can also be measured in the form of materialistic asset of, do you own the business? No. But I own the wisdom. So there's something called, that I like to call, life equity. And it's inevitable. Like, you're either building negative equity through the stupid decisions that you're making, or you're building positive equity. Because I can look at the last 3 years of all the money I generated, and that I didn't necessarily have much equity over, ownership over, aside from being a franchise owner, and think of it, man, that's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not proud of it. I feel like I'm a $1 billion man, and I'm trapped in $1 million income. You know what I mean? I feel like I've put so much work in, so much discipline, so many reps, and so many things I've learned, and so much money I've invested. I don't know any other, I think when I did the Andy Elliott, I was 24. It was like, I don't know anybody else that spends 50 grand for an hour, 24 years old, coming from the background that I come from. You know what I mean? Both my parents went away. Statistically, I should be dead, away. You know what I mean?
Damn right, brother.
So it's like, I look at that and I'm like, I have to free the world from the sales hamster mindset, because I haven't blown a lot of money on cars and houses and things like that. But I wish there was somebody there to tell me when I was 19 years old and I started making $2,000 plus a week. Start building more equity. Start owning more in this world that your name is on it. So every little sales, what I call us is, we're all sales hamsters. You're a sales hamster for Keller Williams. I'm a sales hamster for a life. Like, where's your capital come from? Sales hamster for a life insurance company. You're running on this wheel, and guess where your revenue is going towards? You're getting 1%, but that's just the cheese, the carrot to keep you on the wheel, right? But really, you're sending a percentage of cheese to somebody that is building equity. Now, I've put my money into building what I like to call also digital equity. There's so many different forms of equity. That's why people are like, why do you put so much money into a brand? You can't steal my brand from me. You could shut down Instagram. You can't shut down word of mouth. You can't shut down reputation. People know who I am. I don't just market myself as some sales coach, some life coach. I have a legit skill set, a legit business, legit revenue being generated. These weak little mediocre life coaches, sales coaches, disgust me. You have nothing. You've built nothing. You just market yourself as something. and you deceive the sheep. That's fine. And they need it. Some of them need this encouragement, but they'll never be more than nothing than sheep. But these sales hamster kids, we all are sales hamsters in some way, shape, or form. If you don't take some of that money, just a percentage of it, I'm not telling you to save it, but you start building your own brand. You start building digital equity, and you start building physical equity, whether it's buying real estate, buying some form of an asset. I'd rather someone fail their whole life on building a business and trying to build equity than go out on their knees building somebody else's. Like, don't spend your whole life, guys. You're in sales right now. You're watching this. You're 20, 30, 40 years old. Don't spend your whole life building somebody else's company, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, just to second that, no risk is the biggest risk of all. So
the biggest.
You're absolutely right, because the bill of regret is the most expensive one.
It's disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, if you need a reminder, this is, and we'll wrap up. This is the reminder I tell myself. If I need a reminder of how painful life is, look to the individuals that are a decade ahead of you, 2 decades ahead of you. They're in their 50s and their 60s, and they've done nothing with their lives. Yeah, nothing. Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. And here's where it goes to another level.
Oh, no.
Is, do you know how many days? What's today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. I think the 20th.
You know how many Wednesdays are in a year? It's
7?
a trick question.
No, not
listen,
7. What am I?
Listen, no. It's because I'm a long
52.
talker. There's 52, yeah. Make sure we clip that.
How many Wednesdays are there?
That's going to go viral. You're going to be the best. You're going to make 1,000 sales off that. So listen.
1,000? Can that go viral?
Yeah, but I did it on purpose. So listen, you did 7 not knowingly. So listen. 52 Wednesdays in a year. Life expectancy is 85 years old. You take a 60-year-old who's got 20 years left. They only have 1,000 Wednesdays left. And they've done nothing with their lives.
Right.
You take a young man and you tell him, who's the most important person to you in your entire world? Who? You're 21 years old. Who's the most important person in your entire world right now?
To me, can it be God?
It can be God.
God.
Preferably somebody with not infinite life.
With not infinite life?
Right, someone with a finite
my
life.
mom.
Your mom. How old is she? 40s, 50s?
54.
54 years old. Life expectancy is 85. You take 30, you multiply that by 50, you got about 1,500 Wednesdays left, hypothetically, with your mom. If you fuck off 1 second, it's another Wednesday gone. $14.99. It's a reminder. I look at these people that are 40 years old and they've only got 500 Wednesdays left with their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters. Listen, it's not your life that you're wasting. One day mom won't call back. One day dad won't call back. One day they will stop texting and your last text will be the last text. The last call will be the last call. It's not a matter of you becoming a billionaire. It's a matter of you not wasting the life that you have. It's a matter of you not wasting the life that they created for you. Immigrants, they're my favorite to lead because I get inspiration from you. The sacrifice an immigrant has to make to get to this country. Don't waste a second. Don't waste a second, bro. You don't need motivation. An alarm clock? Your mother came from a different country. The things that she had to do, what are you talking about? If you need motivation, just know someone you love only has a couple Wednesdays left.
Bro, I got chills on my whole fucking body right now, bro.
That's what gets me going, though.
Damn.
Like, people are like, man,
that urgency, dude.
You're a dark thinker and everything. Like, I'm not a dark thinker. I think a lot of people, like, there's 2 options in life. A lot of people, it's like, you've got fiction and reality, and it's like, I'm retired from living in fiction. You know what I mean? It's reality. I've had too many people close to me die. You know what I mean? Like, life is life. There's beauty in duality. We wouldn't appreciate life if there wasn't death. You don't appreciate breathing until you can't breathe. You know what I mean? You don't appreciate like love until there's been hate and there's been destruction. Like we would abuse love if we didn't know what hate meant, if we didn't feel hate. So it's all beautiful, bro. Do you have anything else to add before I keep ranting?
Lock in with Tristan, bro.
Lock in, bro. Lock in,
This
dude.
guy's a fucking legend. I can't believe. Yeah, you literally gave me chills, bro. Oh my goodness. It's 8 o'clock. I feel like going to make fucking calls right now.
Let's do it, dude.
This guy, bro.
Let's do it. Let me give you
You're
this
a
hype on
beast,
here.
bro. You just
hey,
killed it.
we just finished up long day, first off, from flying all over, running a couple life insurance appointments and meetings. And then we finished up with the podcast with my boy.
Boom,
We got
baby.
Antonio,
Let's
the real
go.
estate dog. Make sure you guys shoot him a follow. What did we cover today, bro?
Covered
Everything.
life. We covered business. Man, Tristan just dropped some insane heat. You put on a helmet when you watch this. You're going to want to run through a wall. But after, you're going to have all the knowledge, all the information that you need to just go out there, stop being a bitch, and make something of your life, bro.
Let's
Goddamn.
go. Listen, I paid him $1,000 to say all that. No, I'm just playing. Hey, listen, I hope you guys have a blessed day. Keep running it up. Keep getting better and realize everything you want in this life is on the other side of sacrifice, discipline. Don't get fooled by all this social media bullshit. If everybody was forced to post their failures and their mess ups and their mishaps, everyone would have a lot more confidence because every single person you look up to had a failure today, had a loss today. They just didn't post it. So keep going, dog. Let's go.
I'm going to invoice you for that 1,000.
Yeah, please. Great pod. Antonio Lucas Wakshkish.
Let's go. I'm glad you asked me how to say it instead of butchering it.
Yeah, bro.
My last guy, he called me Lukaszowski around.
No, he called you Mike Wazowski. Hell no.
I was like, oh, shit.
Stop recording.
Oh, yeah.